good people, man. The cliche cannot die today. We're gonna put some extras on it because I have a very, 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 very special guest. To those looking at him, the majority of y'all, he needs no introduction, but to those that are listening and not viewing, the legendary KevMac from KevMac Videos. Welcome to Factz Ova Feelinz, the podcast.
Thank you, man. How you doing?
I'm blessed, man. I gotta do it. I don't give a fuck. I'm blessed abundantly, man. I want to do this real quick so I can put my phone down. That's something coming through to you. If you could take a look at that real quick. I feel like this moment is long overdue, and as he reviews his phone, I'm going to announce I feel like it's 4 years overdue. And it's going to be a different introduction than we've ever had because as I'm sitting here with the legendary, not only the homie, my brother in the sense of a black man, and a homie in the sense of our plight and our journey in these streets, but he's also in the sense of a content creator. He's a mentor of mine. So someone that I look up to and aspire to accomplish some of the things you did as far as the way you made your presence out of something out of nothing on the internet. I kind of got a head start with the industry shit, but you know, we really respect what you do out here. But I think that I want to know if you've been on the journey that I've been on with KevMac as long as I've been on it. See, this is what I felt like. What y'all don't know is the text I just sent him is a DM conversation from how long ago?
I think that was a few years ago, right?
Quite a few.
Yeah.
And it was a humble request of myself reaching out to the infamous KevMac, like, hey.
4 years ago.
4 years ago, 2019. I'm like, you know, without having no personal connection, just being aware of his presence on the internet and what he was doing, I understood how I fit into the scheme and the things. I reached out to the homie like, I'm ready whenever you are. And his response was like, for sure, whoopty whoop. And then it's been till right now that we've got a chance to be in each other's presence and actually have a conversation. However, just look how the initial seats would have been different. It would have been him interviewing me, but when we finally got to it, I'm interviewing him. And I know in my heart, I've been thinking this was the reason why you never got to it. And I just want to know if this is true or if you're aware of this. When I first started doing this live shit, talking on the internet, this is one of the reasons why I stopped reading comments in real time and reacting to them. Because I didn't know the brand KevMac Videos. Mm-hmm. So when I first started doing this shit, talking my shit, people in the comments like, you need to look up KevMac, get on KevMac. And I'm like, I'm reading, mumbling, KevMac Video, KevMac, what's that? Who KevMac? And whatever the comments was, it was like, oh, you gang video. And my reaction, cocky, arrogant, I don't need to watch no gangbang videos to get the. And then shortly thereafter, I became aware. And I'm like, And I think that's probably when I reached out to you humbly and presented myself as wanting to be a part of your platform. And the fact it hasn't taken place all this time, I've been assuming you saw those comments I made very early on about KevMac like I wasn't giving a fuck. Now, I don't know if I'm telling on myself or were you aware of that?
No, I wasn't aware of that.
Bam.
But what I wanted to ask you, somebody using your name, I'm just say somebody, it could have been you, but nowadays trolls will use somebody else's name. And the comment was, KevMac's platform ain't big enough for me. I'm looking for something bigger.
Never, on my mama. And I'm going to tell you why you know that's not true. I'm glad I got a witness in this building right now. Because I view you as an equal counterpart or the opposite of the homie Alex Alonso. You guys kind of like represent the similar. I know I asked you this earlier. I was going to ask you who started off. You said he was before you.
Yeah.
And so we pay homage to him as being the originator of this particular style and type of content for our region. But to a lot of people who wasn't sure who was first, you guys seem like the originators.
There's no question who was first. Alex started on the internet while I was in prison.
Okay.
So when I come home and you look up some gang shit, it wasn't nobody but Alex Alonso.
Correct. And I want you to know, when Alex reached out to me, I didn't do his platform until like around that time. I was like shortly before I reached out to you. So I probably did him in 19 or 18 too. Pause. Not did him. Did his. I hate they got me on that weak ass pause shit every time you say something that's slightly, let me get out of that. Let's get more mature. Yeah. I did his platform in that same time frame. And when he reached out to me, his shit was street gangs. I'm gonna tell you, I have been on a 7-year hiatus from all this shit. I didn't know about none of y'all shit really. Mm-hmm. I didn't know about nothing. I knew about kind of Vlad. I didn't know about no jump, no, none of that shit. I was really tapped out listening to talk radio, 6:40 a.m. That's the only content I was taking in for about 7 years. So when I started hearing certain shit, I wasn't aware of it. But when Alex reached out to me that wanted to do it, his shit was Street Gangs TV. And Alex could testify, me, Spider Loc, banged out, whoever you want to call me, told Alex, I'm just now getting back to trying to reestablish my public persona. And I don't want to be associated with a platform titled Street Gangs. I would love to do an interview with you. However, that's going against the image I'm trying to establish at this point. Ironically, without him having to cap me down, he was saying, damn, it's crazy because he got at me like in October or something. He's like, in January, my shit is changing to Street TV. I said, that's perfect, bro. Hit me in January. And he respected that and honored that we didn't get to it in January. So, I never thought that it wasn't no big enough. I wish you had a screenshot of it, but I would never say that in the troll. I never had a platform that was too small for me. There may be some too small enough to maintain my attention long enough to get to what they asked me for. But for me to say that, I ain't fuck with you too small, that's never been me.
Right.
And I just wasn't aware of the name. It's when people suggested I need to tap in and they was telling me like, oh, it's a gangbang type shit. It was just me saying, you can't teach me about LA gangbang. I didn't know about you personally, your brand, where you was from, what it represented. It was just me being on my rapper tip, the rapper that speaks out, you always number one, and I am an expert in the same subject matter that you guys are experts in. So it was kind of like, without me being aware of what they was talking about, I don't need to watch no gangbang videos, like to be educated on LA. So that's what it was. And then when I finally realized what it was I was speaking on, I was somewhat humbled. So I reached out to you after I had that. And the fact that we just now got to it, I've been thinking all this time that that's what it was about, but that wasn't me in the comments either, though.
All right. Yeah, I always wondered, but we never talked about it.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, but a lot of this is just lack of communication. You sent a text, I sent a text back. We didn't talk. We didn't communicate.
You know when I realized that maybe I had the wrong impression? I was scrolling through YouTube, and I seen a nigga from Graveyard on your shit. D-Loc, shout out D-Loc from Graveyard. And when I was a teenager, I was in Supermax, and Cub was like the G'est nigga in the dorm. He was the oldest nigga, politicking, fucked with the young Crips. He basically called the shots. And he's somebody I haven't necessarily thought about in quite some time. And just scrolling down YouTube, when you can see 20 plus years on a face, and it triggers some in the back of your mind, and then you look at the words, it's like, that is him. Mm-hmm. And I know you remember this because I got in your comments, and I'm like, man, can you whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop? And next thing you know, I was in touch with D-Loc because I got in your comments. I said, okay, KevMac I know he ain't got no problem with me, so maybe it ain't what I thought it was. That was some months ago, probably like 6-7 months ago.
I'm highly misunderstood. A lot of people think I'm a hater. A lot of people think because of where I'm from and how I grew up, that I hate this set or this individual person from a different set, but it ain't like that. And as a lot of people know that's involved in this type of stuff, when you go to jail and prison, you can be as hard as you want, as tough as you want, but you're gonna end up befriending a rival. And that's what these, whatever you wanna call them, these guys is civilians or from other states, they don't understand how the culture actually works in California.
That's deep you brought that up because I just looked at a video Alex recently did with the young nigga X4 from 40. Shout out to the young nigga with the wave right now. And Alex was discussing the subject of being such an active, young, face tatted type nigga. How does he balance that with going to prison? And when you hear everything he ever said up until he was asked this question, you would think he wouldn't understand what we just expressed. Mm-hmm. But as soon as Alex asked him that, up until that point, everything was enemy K. I don't give a fuck. But as soon as Alex described the prison environment and how do you balance that, he immediately snapped into, oh, I know how it is. Get close as fuck with a op up there. I know what I've been laced. I learned whoop. And then he said to Alex, and then why would you go back to that when you get back on the streets to the shit? He said, just because I got tight with one nigga up there, don't mean everybody in the choir gonna sing the same note. And that's another thing out of town niggas don't understand. You'll see Dub C and Mac 10 and think everybody on their side and everybody on their side feel that way and think it's okay, but not knowing that's just personal relationships a lot of people balance. How do you, being such a representative of such a brand name section with so many ops, How did you develop a ghetto pass to just go anywhere you want in the city and get? Is it the poker face? You got a hell of a poker face, homie. Oh, my mama.
You know what? That's a great question. I've been asked once before that same type of question. I don't feel like I got a pass to go anywhere. It's still places, you know, certain hoods I don't want to stop. I don't want to hang out at. And even during some interviews, I got my neck is on a swivel, bro. I'm looking left, right, back. You know what I'm saying? Because
I respect that.
I don't know if somebody hate me because of where I'm from or because of who I am. So I'm always skeptical. You know what I'm saying? But what I can say to that question is, during jail and prison, I met some ops, and you know, it wasn't always cool when I first met some of them, but then we became cool. And
I could dig it.
I could give you one example without going deep into detail.
Deep as you choose, bro.
My mom died while I was in prison. Couple ops got at me, man, with condolences cards. That meant the world to me.
How do you gang bang against that? Talk. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you can't. Especially when the reality sits in that your own homeboys and your closest homeboy didn't do it. I had an op sending me paper, $50 here and there. I didn't have homies doing that. So it's an easy balance to be unbiased toward a set. I don't care if it's A-Trey, Gangster, Inglewood family. It don't matter to me. When you're dealing with the history, that's what it is. It's the history. You know, I'm not one of those out there pressing for peace. I'm not in the gang intervention or prevention. If I feel like there's a message for the youth, I'll give that message for the youth, but that's not what I concentrate on. I'm more into the history of it.
When you speak on gang intervention versus history, there are a lot of controversial situations being spoken about online about the G homie from 6-0 that almost the whole world on the street level respects. I've spent a lot of time respecting Cuz, and Big U got some allegations where they try to bring up his name with gang intervention, and there's some paperwork online where his signature is on a contract. And I remember when it first went viral, my reaction to it was like, damn. I was disappointed, shocked, couldn't believe I saw what I saw. And I'm like, damn, it's 2023. I don't believe Cuz really signed that shit. I said, got to be some trickeration in the gang because I don't believe Big U would have signed that type of agreement. And I spoke on it in that fashion, and I left it alone because it didn't look good at all. And I couldn't understand the G homie that I knew Big Draws to be. I couldn't understand him signing that. So I said what I said, and I left it alone. I ain't harp on it. But the story got bigger than just me speaking on it. And it ended up Big Draws coming on my platform almost some months after it went viral, discussing a whole nother subject. And he got at me. He like, yeah, cuz you know I wouldn't sign no shit like that, cuz nigga, they changed the wording. But just because you brought it up, this was not on my list of things to bring up, but you brought up gang intervention. And like a lot of people out here, I believe in what Big U push, all the shit we know that he represent. This the only black eye potentially that pops up that makes it hard to defend him. I love when he said they changed the wording. But you are expert and you a historian in this shit. Do that resonate with you? Am I a fool for believing that he didn't sign it till they changed the wording and they may be putting the triggeration online? Or do you believe that might be a possibility that, because I know how this shit go. Like, it's easy to show something online and make it look like, because told me on Lightwood he didn't sign it till the wording was changed, and I want to believe that.
Well, I know the facts behind that whole situation, but I'm not the one under the microscope being challenged on that. So the homie got to speak up for himself on that. And if he chooses not to, that's his prerogative. But let's look at it like this, okay? Not that this is how I go, but just for reference. Let's say you work for Alex Alonso, right? And now he's signing your checks, he's paying you. And now you under the microscope. Do you go out publicly and try to explain yourself to jeopardize your contract, to jeopardize your money? So that's the situation he finds himself in. So he got to speak to that. I can't speak to that.
But it's certain people of a certain level of intelligence that understanding that immediately, and I'm one of them. because a lot of times my character online becomes under question. And the only way you can put that fire out to the curious people is almost incriminate yourself. And if I have to explain, and if I'm feel pressed to try to clarify, you might fuck off your whole lick trying to prove to somebody it ain't what they think it is. Is that what you trying to say?
Yeah, but absolutely. But I know you're about 8 years younger than me, but we was brought up, and I'm sure you probably was too. We not doing a whole bunch of explaining.
Oh, my mama.
If a dude want to be ignorant or hateful, that's his prerogative. Only thing with Big U is Big U has chose not to speak up on it.
Wisely
And
so.
and it's wise for him and his family. Look, Cuz got a son in the NFL.
Shout out to nephew.
You know what I'm saying? They doing their thing. They doing the family thing. They family together. They all live in the same house. He ain't got no kids that don't live with him, no kids that he don't raise. He look out for other kids in the neighborhood. You know,
He's looked
the
out for
community.
my children, my 3 boys.
I mean, that's just what Cuz do.
Correct.
And a lot of people can't do it or don't know how to do it. They hate it. They fear it. They scared of it. They jealous of it. But again, it's up to Big U to speak on that. Big U, my homeboy, I can't speak against or for that. He got to defend himself.
But have you ever heard any conversation around the subject matter of the language of that contract being changed? From
I'm familiar with all that. And yeah, the language was
That's
changed.
all I want to hear, cuz neighborhood on my blah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
See, let me just say this, Spider Loc. There's a lot of people in the gang intervention stuff, right? From
So
different
many.
sets.
My
different
homies
sets.
too.
Bloods, Crips, East Side, West Side, all that,
I got
right?
some reputable niggas from my hood that are in the exact same agreement with the same organization.
Exactly.
Go ahead. Though.
Exactly. But when you hear these hateful mouths on YouTube or the internet that either have a agenda against the homie or don't know the homie, they don't understand that the whole city is up under the contract similar to that. But the wording was changed for developing options, and I don't see an issue with it personally.
Like, but we gonna leave it like that, nail in the coffin. One time for the hometown champ, cause everybody know Big U name is the biggest name at this point that has been exposed as somebody from the gutter out here that has bridged the gap between industry and streets. It's a thin line to walk anytime you got that much motherfucking exposure and you matter from your section and you want to do something positive to bring about change. That is something so difficult to bring about. Somebody that's not even from the inner circle having such a loud expertise on it after he was on Cuz nuts so hard, it just make it difficult to try to get a lot of people who don't really know what's going on to understand. So I'm glad you came and brought some clarity to that.
Right.
I ain't never stopped fucking with Cuz. I fuck with Cuz.
Yeah.
Oh, my mama. So tell me this, with that being said.
Let me stop you
Go ahead.
before that. Hold that thought. Cuz also employed a lot of gang members in the city, too.
Black men.
Black men.
So he, not only is
couple
he
of essays, too. Couple of essays.
so not only is he involved in employing a certain generation of us, he's also involved in rearing and raising, and through the athletic programs, a whole nother generation of us.
Absolutely. Now, Spider Loc, before you move on, the homie has been getting money for years. And the homie did a stretch in prison and come home. A lot of people, man, that weighs heavy on people's hearts because they can't get no money like that. And you know what money does? It creates envy and jealousy. You was a rapper, you was getting your paper, you know how it go. I'm sure you had some niggas hating on you or
No, I have.
tripping on how you politic in the rap
Only
industry.
time my
and all
name
that.
every time I had to deal with any kind of gangbang politics, it wasn't until I was a famous rapper. That's when, until then, you know the brand of Crip I am. Never was on never no kind of nothing. Only time I ever had to even think about somebody called theyself maybe wanting to speak my name into politics was once I was on that type shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know how I go. All right, now go on.
Your hood, man, it's hard to, avoid. As far as a collective, personalities, one section having representation, online, personalities, it's y'all. If we think about the industry in our general landscape, you guys have had the majority of the representation. My personal experience, my comrades start from being Key to Rock, Corrupt, it goes on to the homie Brick Baby, Neighborhood, Nip the Crip, the Keyway Christ, Big U, Jay Stone, the homie, Pac-Man, I've politicked with. So you guys kind of like have the biggest cluster that we know to grab from as far as personalities. Right now in current time, it's almost true all over again with 600, Brick Baby, Big U, yourself. Most recently, the homie Brick Cuz had some politics with your homies that bled over into a live, and they kind of like got kind of like real, you digitalize it, kind of got real, like, it was like tensions and shit was expressed, and then Brick Baby went live, apparently over there in the section later on, saying like, yeah, this is what you got any thoughts on all that? You being an individual has been responsible to exposing the world to a certain degree to a lot of the insides that they wouldn't be privy to naturally. You do it in a respectful, journalistic manner. Do you see any similarities in what they're doing versus what you do? Or do you feel like what they did definitely needs to be offline and what you do is acceptable?
Shit, you basically answered that yourself.
I didn't mean to ask it like that.
It's definitely not the way that I intended it to be or would hope for it to be. And hood politics, when you're going at each other, need to be offline.
Agreed, definitely.
It's simple to show up to an alley, a Thunderdome, or whatever, a meeting, a function, if you really want to get something off your chest. But it's a big difference, man. Them was some real generals that you named. Key to Rock, real general.
Spider Loc, free to rock.
And homies with big reputations wouldn't handle themselves the same way the guys that we see online handling things nowadays, right? No smut on these dudes. It's different times.
Not at all, different times. And everything is a learning process.
Everything's a learning
process. What I respect about Big Baby, he uses his terminology. He respects the pecking order. He has no problem after being fully activated and emotional coming back and say, I digress, I apologize. And I think that goes a long way with a man that's standing on shit.
Well, I get a lot of calls about the overhill general. And a lot of people wondering, like, how does he get that title? Who gave it to him? That title's not self-made. There's a lot of dudes that came before that participated in internal mischief. And go ahead.
So are you suggesting maybe his direct assignment should be balancing your current shine and status with the whole history of what established that you standing on?
I'm suggesting that you said he's respectful to his older homies, and the older homies feel like he's putting himself on a pedestal that he didn't earn. But he in this podcasting business, he's a great personality. That's
Shout
why his name popped.
I appreciate the way you carry yourself with the podcast situation, the whole online personality. And I also appreciate the fact that he's able to have that type of static with the 60s and it be resolved without Cuz having to get fucked all the way over. Has that situation been resolved?
I have no idea.
He said it has. The only reason I'm asking you this, shout out to Break Nightbud. We spoke about this Tuesday on another platform, so that's why. Otherwise, I wouldn't have spoke on it at all.
Yeah, I don't know about it. You know what I mean? But what I do know is you see a lot of dudes in the turf that have beef with other homies. Then all of a sudden, the next day, it's no beef. So you gotta wonder, like, what's going on? Are these skits or somebody paying somebody? Somebody giving somebody a bag to get off their back? Again, like, I'm older, homie, and
if you don't tell nobody, I ain't gonna know.
Yeah, I don't know the youngsters. Like, I don't know a lot of the youngsters, you know what I mean? And I don't know a lot of the young hood politics. So I refrain from all that. But what I'm saying is, typically, to straighten that out like that fast, and there's no fight, there's no squabble, there's no shootout, it's got to be a bag in play. But
you think that it possibly could have been a fight that was agreed not to be talked about? Because I know the way shit go. My name, I done been in shit on the internet where my name got viral, and it seemed like it had to do something with gangs and hoods and homies, and then it get resolved, and like it never to be spoken about again. And we don't go announce to the internet what actually took place to have it all. You feel me?
Facts. That can't happen. But your question was, do I think? No, okay, I don't think.
Less.
I don't think. It's just an opinion. I don't think so. But the youngsters gonna handle things the way they handle things. You know what I mean? But Our hood is big, a lot of different personalities, a lot of different sections. So everybody don't always see eye to eye, and everybody don't know all the business, like you said.
Right.
They could have went in the backyard, got down, and squashed it. Who knows?
So yeah, and that's not suggesting that they did, but we can't. You never know. I respect the fact. I didn't like the way it bled over online, and I see your homies that was speaking against the homie. I respect whatever they chose to do, but I like the fact that that's all we saw. We ain't seen no more. So obviously they done thought about it, readdressed it, and they dealing with it differently too. However they gonna deal with it, they not dealing with it with like that, keeping it going. I respect that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the homies handle things in ways that are not conventional sometimes, but
yeah, y'all got one of the coldest phrases associated with y'all section. We ain't gonna have to utter it, but yeah, y'all handle things quite uniquely, man. Like you, Crip. Yeah, but yeah, it happened crazy a lot of days. Tell me this though, magazine. What is it? Fresh Hood?
Allhood Publications.
Allhood Publications.
Yes.
So like journalism, when did it get in your blood? That
Man, I don't know, man. To be honest, I don't know. But
explain to those who don't know what we're talking about. You're a digital creator, but it didn't start digitally. Or was it? You start digitally first and then did the magazine? I'm not sure the year the magazine started.
2005, August 2005. And I don't know, man. I just used to look at Alex shit online, and I thought,
shout out to A3.
You know, I got a homeboy named One Shot, Big Shawnee Mac. That's the homie, right? The homie used to buy magazines and books all the time, so he was into the Feds and Don Diva. And I was telling him, I had been talking about doing a magazine, but I'd never seen Feds and Don Diva.
Vario.
So the homie is bringing magazines over like, look, check this out, check this one out, check this one out. I said, that's it right there. I'm going to do a West Coast version of that. Now, for all the homies in the penitentiary that want pictures of bad bitches and some up-to-date information, I could mix in with the gang history. So it all came together in one package.
That's fly. Because you almost answered my next question. I was going to ask you if you considered it somewhat of a West Coast version of Don Diva.
Absolutely.
I swear to God, then you said that. Tell me this. Damn, what was the thought? I had a great thought that slipped my mind, but I'll go back to an original thought that I had. Have you ever run into any resistance with you being involved with shining a light on a lot of the intricacies and the stories that are associated with our experience, dude?
Yeah, slightly. Let's say the first issue with the Athens part, got a little static from that. Then the Bounty Hunters and Grapes. Grapes wasn't hostile, but the Grapes was
so I got history with the Grapes.
Yeah, we got history. Damn near everybody, really. Especially when you combine the industry.
Right.
You know.
Okay.
And so the Bounty Hunters had an issue. And
of you coming over there?
No, giving out the layout of
okay,
of
how they
history.
get down. Okay. Who was the individual?
I'm not gonna
that
say his name. And
did he hold you down in the situation?
You guys know the guy.
It gotta be. Now I know. Now I know.
Yeah.
I know.
But everybody
I don't know him, but shout out to him because I see him doing his thing.
Everybody's name don't need to be mentioned. You
I
know
agree.
What I'm saying? So
I agree.
So just them three really. And that's issue 1 and issue 2. After that, a lot of people started supporting me and getting behind me. You know.
How do you feel with being a pioneer of this type of content and one of the only ones that was doing it wasn't considered cool? You had to be the nerd guy, the camera guy, and now everybody and their mama is trying to be the guy you and Alex was 15, 20 years ago. How does that feel? Do you feel like you get your just recognition?
No. You know what's funny? Alex used to seem a little irritated back in the day, right? We never had this conversation, but that's how it appeared he was getting a little irritated.
By your rise and your success?
Yeah, and I didn't understand it. But then it seemed like when I came in, I feel like it's me and Alex. And now I'm starting to feel like Alex. Like, where you niggas coming from? And like, you niggas ain't legit and you ain't paid your dues. Dub C had a song,
That's
Pay
right.
Your Dues.
Pay your dues,
These dudes ain't paid their dues.
Yes.
You know what these dudes do? They go get a clip from Alex and get clips from me.
Yes.
And make their own clip.
I'm glad I'm here to help establish the two founders of this shit, even though Alex does not really expose a certain side of himself. it's like you are the Dub C, he's the Mac 10 of this shit. And people probably don't really realize that about Alex, but he grew up in a more rediful than beautiful side of our city. And you guys both have the same similar expertise and knowledge about the landscape and have chose to go on the insides and bring it out. So I look at you guys as the goats of the both sides of even though Alex not really affiliated to the extent we have been or is or doesn't present himself in that fashion, he still comes from that side of the track. So I look at you guys as like the opposite side of the color spectrum doing the same thing. I would love to do a collab where I can be looking into you guys' perspective and I can be the producer and kind of like maybe ask you guys the same 20 questions when you guys are not around and get your perspective on the same exact questions. Can I be allowed to produce something similar to that?
I agree to that.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Me and Alex had a conversation.
Alex is nodding, y'all. He's nodding in agreement in the back. Okay.
Me and Alex had a conversation about that. I told him I'll do a collab with him. We just got to figure out what it is that we going to collab on.
There you go.
But it's funny that you even bring this conversation up because... And when I walked in, you may remember, I said, Alex, man, you never took a picture together.
I heard that.
I've been knowing this guy for decades.
That's hard.
And the reason why it was on my mind, I wanted to post a picture of me and Alex and kind of say what you said. Like, this is the top right here. You know what I'm saying? Like
Rushmore.
Like we the football commissioner and everybody else just the team owners. You know what I mean?
Sir.
That's how I feel.
I'm gonna help y'all establish that because I'm not y'all. And you feel personally that's how y'all feel and you don't really want to be saying it. I say it first and now you can just agree with me. Yeah, everybody that know what's happening know that's what it is. Salute to both of y'all.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I gotta give a shout out to my Mac heads and maniacs. They know I'm humble. They know I don't talk like that, but that's how I feel, and that's what I'm saying today.
As you should. I ain't mad at you, man, because a lot of times we wait too late to figure shit out or deliver flowers that are deserving, and I'm trying to be active and extending them when they person can appreciate them. So you definitely got that coming here up out of me. Now, do you mind if I get somewhat messy?
You could get messy. It don't mean I'll answer.
All right. Alex, can we get the clip, please?
Set it up.
All right, your boy, and I don't want to like even take your. Have you ever? Okay, yeah. You have an interest of capturing as much of the hip hop, LA street gang landscape as you possibly can, as far as authentic members and catching them in their natural environment. Have you ever had any interest whatsoever in capturing anything affiliated with a name such as Snoopy Badass?
Yeah, I did. I did at one point. You know why? Because Snoopy Badass got that old DJ Quick look. Throwback blood.
The G Perico.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The swap meet version of the fly G. I get it.
I know a lot of
that sparked my interest in him too initially. Go ahead.
I know a lot of people don't like with him. They don't like him and don't mess with him. Back to what you were saying about being from 60. I'm unbiased. I'm neutral in the Snoopy Badass hate and all that. Some of it I find funny.
Me too.
But he stay popping it. He pop slick. He stay down for what he believe in.
What does he believe in when you say that? Because I don't want to just give him any credit he don't deserve because he's definitely someone who's established him as an op. So just tell me, when you say he stand on what he believe in, what do you believe he believes in?
That he's hard, that he's tough. Nobody never put hands on him. He run all fades. And that's how he feel. And that's how it look like he feel. That's what he represents. That's what he speaks. Now, do I know that to be true? No, I don't. I can only take it at face value.
And you being a native out here all these years, you from the west side of Los Angeles, but however, you are extremely familiar with everything from Venice to Long Beach to you know how the streets have a vibration and it ain't hard to figure out who you about to talk to before you talk to them. So I ain't gonna put you on the spot to slander cuz, but I was just trying to set up this clip because I want to get your perspective on what he has to say. You know, recently I've made multiple appearances on No Jumper. There's been no announcement of me being an employee there, being somebody that's going to be returning there. I've maybe been there 3 or 4 times in my whole life, but the majority of the times were like in rapid succession recently. This is a guy I've seen at No Jumper multiple times through the years. But I want you to listen to this clip. I just want your perspective on it because this is either from late last night or early today. I believe, he didn't say my name, but anyone listening can assume my presence on No Jumper caused him to go on this rant. So I just want to get your perspective. Oh, damn, I thought I did it fly. I stretched it out long.
My nigga, you can't have all these neighborhood Crips on your platform and think niggas supposed to look at it like a unbiased platform. Nigga, it's becoming a biased ass platform. And I'ma tell him that to his face. So y'all get ready. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that shit, bro. That's some weird shit, nigga. Like, nigga, you can't do that, nigga. I'ma address it, I'ma speak on it, and let the public take care of it from there, nigga. Cause everybody gonna see what I see. That shit ain't real, nigga. I don't like that shit, nigga. I don't like it, nigga. I don't give a fuck, nigga. Dead homies. Everybody not from neighborhood, nigga. Dead homies, nigga. Everybody don't lean towards their politics, my G. They gonna do bullshit to protect each other, nigga. They gonna sweep all they buster ass shit they do under the rug, cause they got access to that platform. No, nigga. I'm Snoopy badass, nigga, and I'm not happy, nigga. Feel me? I'm not on nobody's side, nigga. I'm about fairness, nigga. I'm about truth, nigga. Straight the fuck up, nigga. I don't give a fuck if you from neighborhood, if you from Hoover, if you a Bompton Piru. I don't give a fuck if you a Sorrento, nigga. Feel me? If you make music, nigga, and you a real nigga, you deserve a fair chance in this, nigga. It shouldn't be one side controlling a platform like that, nigga. And I don't give a fuck how nobody feel about it, nigga. That's not real, nigga. And Adam, nigga, I ain't feeling that, nigga. Feel me? Yo, you need to clean that shit the fuck up. I fuck with Adam 22, nigga, but that right there, that's not gonna fly with this culture. He gonna get himself in a wreck doing that, nigga. Feel me? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my Hoover niggas. Shout out to my real neighborhood niggas. Shout out to my real Damus, my nigga. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about, nigga. Y'all know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about, nigga. I don't like none of it. I don't like it. So if y'all wanna know how I feel about it, I don't like it, nigga. Straight the fuck up, nigga.
Nah, we don't give a fuck how you feel, but go ahead, Mac.
Well, first of all, everybody's entitled to run their platform how they wish to run it. And whoever their guests are their guests, period. Second of all, since he mentioned neighborhood has got to be the deepest alliance in L.A.
Come on.
You got the 40s to the 100s, and you got the east side, east coast. So you even got the 11 Deuce neighborhoods too.
The
Linwood for sure. And West Covina, all that. So it's gonna always be more neighborhoods being interviewed or in the rap industry, whatever.
Wasn't he from Paris though?
And you from Paris, you an ex-neighborhood yourself, you jump ship too quick, but go ahead.
Man, so you gotta expect that, and that sound personal to me.
Extremely personal, because just think about the only neighborhoods we know working No Jumper is C-Mac and Brick Baby. That's it. Me personally, I've been there a couple times recently, and this triggers this type of reaction out this guy.
Well, yeah, you mentioned C-Mac, so yeah, it's personal.
Shout out to Nia with her fine, sexy, sweet singing ass.
But my thing is this though, Spider Loc. Why do we care what No Jumper is doing? Why do we care what Adam is doing so much?
You know what it brings me to? This is something we've all heard a lot recently. I don't even know where it comes from, but it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. Fuck them. You digitalize. I know what it is. I didn't even want to bring your motherfucking caliber of conversation down to cuz, but I just had to get that off because it was current today. I was on my way to a scheduled appointment to talk to a content creator legend, and he's a buffoon that we all are familiar with. So I just had to slip that on you to just break up the Alex is gonna make a clip of this for me tonight, because we gotta have this one tonight. I just want to get you caught up in some of it, because you know what, as a G nigga out here, I want to give you your props for not falling into I could get twice as much money if I get involved in the clickbait and the current events. You don't do it.
Hey, do what you do.
But I salute you for not doing it.
I try not to, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it again. I fucks with Snoopy Badass as far as the comments go. Never met him. You know what I'm saying? Never met him, but we communicate.
Okay, I got to do this for you then, because I'm going to let you know what I and the rest of your viewers and my viewers view you as. An expert on the Los Angeles County gang landscape. So for you to say you acknowledge, honor, and or respect Snoopy Badass, please explain to us where he fits into the landscape that we are aware of, the shit that we respect. You come from 4800 days.
Yeah,
so where does he fit in?
But see, you got to understand, and for whoever's viewing this, need to understand, I'm not saying like we done put in work together or I seen him thunder some shit in the county jail. I'm saying he respectfully got at me on Instagram, and I like the style, and so we fuck with each other on the text. Like I said, I ain't never met him or nothing like that, but I'm not going to throw him under the bus other than them NAC comments, because you talking about a big alliance. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not going to even drag you into the personal implications of my interactions with him, but I respect your political reaction, bro. I'm learning. I'm learning from y'all, bro. In a lot of ways, I view y'all as mentors in what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
And I watch, in another bigger sense, I also watch Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Farrakhan, because it's something about being a man of principles, integrity, and still being able to answer questions on the spot while you're being watched and maintaining an appropriate perspective. It's a cold balance, and
it is.
I see a lot of you guys who do it very well, and I'm attempting to learn, because you know me, I'm like, we had Factz Ova Feelinz, and that's so raw. It's like facts.
Hey, Loc, I thought about that last night. I said, Factz Ova Feelinz. We got to take the feelings out and stick to the facts. I thought about that last night, man. I give you that.
You know why I arrived to that as a title that I stick with? It's not because feelings are irrelevant, they don't matter, or they're invalid. They're so relevant, they matter so much that I realize you cannot take nobody's feelings from them.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody is entitled to their feelings. You can have them, they're to be respected. So if we're coming to a public platform to discuss any subject matter, feelings are so unique. They're like assholes. Everybody got one. You're entitled to yours. I'm entitled to mine. There's 9 people at this table. Everybody's entitled to their own feelings. We all respect it. You can have them. Guess what that's going to do if we're trying to base the bottom line we're trying to reach on everybody's feelings?
What's that? Flash.
Yeah, it's so unique.
Right.
So since I respect your feelings, respect mine, we respect his, hers, the best thing we can do is, if we're sitting here and it's a hammer coming down and we don't want our toes hurt, let's get our feelings out. Let's get our toes out the way. And we all can agree on facts. That's something we already agree on. Let's discuss these facts.
You something else.
Oh, that's how I came to that.
I like that title, though. I like that title.
My bad. But like thank you. I appreciate it. But that's how I came to it. And guess what? Off the camera, feelings are safe for brothers, husband, wife, daughter, son, mother, woo. I've often, as a young kid, looked at the whole word love as, when people try to describe what love is, I said, this is what love is to me. As a person, you have rules and boundaries that protect your emotions and shit. Love is when you drop them for anybody for any reason and give them the opportunity to hurt that or damage that. And that's my definition of love. So that just kind of ties in with that thought. Factz Ova Feelinz for me is, your feelings are unique, but for the public, if we can only discuss the things we agree upon and use those facts to analyze what we're discussing, I think we can get to the right answer that best suits everybody.
Facts.
Good looking. Right on. From the legend KevMac. That's good confirmation for something I've been on for a long time.
Hey, but I want to say this, Spider Loc.
Don't talk your shit.
I don't know where you're going after this conversation, but I had told Alex when I come to town, this was probably 7 months ago, that I'm going to come sing. And so I hit you and I hit Alex because it's the only podcast I really like that's on YouTube. I don't really, you can have 3-5 million followers, whatever, but I like your conversation. I like the way you are.
And that's humbling to me. Thank you, big homie.
You word everything. And I think Alex is a professional. He's the closest we got to being a professional that's non-white. And
mama.
And so I respect that. And I just thought this was I don't like talking a lot. And a lot of people invite me to their platform. A lot of people. And I don't go. I'll turn it down. But I just had to come here. And one more thing I want to say, going back to Brick Baby. Part of the problem is a lot of people want Brick Baby seated, no jumper. I'm going to leave it at that.
Oh, my mama. And I know, I'm glad that you didn't see my conversation with Brick Baby. But first, let me say, I humbly received that. Thank you, man. You all know that spoke volumes to me, man. But I basically ended my conversation with Brick Baby on that subject matter, quoting 50 Cent, saying, I'm the nigga at the bar to the good life. You didn't trying to pull me back, right? And then he also included that them is his homies. He spoke about the love, the camaraderie, the disagreement, but he said, he summed it up in front of the world saying, you know, some of them want to be media creators. He spoke that out. So I get that. I get it. I can't even say, as much as I like to, you know, pat my own back, brush my shoulders off, me being Baby Spider from 97th Street, I haven't even been above an unwarranted attack online from a member, an affiliate, an associate. So if it has happened to me, whether I deserved it or not, I can see it happening to the homie. But I'm glad to be able to be involved with the process of bringing reputable, respected members from the same section in a good matter of time that could come and just give a more broader perspective, so the homie don't have to be out here going hoarse trying to explain his own story. Because it looked bad to a lot of people once it bleed over and they don't know the politics and getting it over with and it's dead and it looked like you just took one on the chin and don't nobody want to be the only one out here speaking for themselves saying, oh, it ain't like that. I just feel I'm glad I'm able to help have the conversation be a bit better, a little better understood.
And I hope they all succeed, man.
You know what I want to appreciate you for? The way you jumped on the promotional campaign for the 600 and cartoon fight.
Yeah.
Now that we got a chance to get a little more familiar, it's not over with. I'll show you some shit later to let you know right where we at with it. For this, we crossing our fingers on the December 14th date, and it'll be a nice event. But when I first popped up on your live and asked you this question, you didn't want to like pick a favorite. It's been about a month and a half. Are you leaning one way versus the other?
Financially, yeah. 600 all the way.
Ooh.
Well, let me explain. Let me explain. Because my opinion, I could sway either way. Excuse the word, the term.
Yeah, it ain't like that,
I could
y'all.
go either way. But my thing now is I've accepted bets going for cartoons, so I don't have no choice now but hope 600 wins, so I ain't got to send none of them niggas no money. You feel me?
That's an interesting perspective.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to put my vote in. And at this point, if I had to bet, not that I am desiring at this point, because I don't have a bet, so I don't desire a cartoon to win. I don't want him to win. But if I had to bet, I would bet on cartoons. So then I would have to be saying, I believe and hope he win for the sake of my money. But just me, and I'm keeping it to Google, standing in between the two of them and just getting a physical awareness of their presence in close proximity, their energy mentally, without me having anything else to go on, I kind of lean with cartoon.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Originally, I would go with cartoon originally. But then when I
would though 600, I'm just saying.
But then when you think that 600 got a professional experience and he's a big dude doing pull-ups, it kind of changes things a little bit. See, I was going with the cartoons of Beast off the east side. He done been in the pen with some of my homies and they ain't got nothing but the utmost respect for cartoon. Nothing bad to say about him. I'm like, cartoon got this easy. Then I see 600's fights on tape. 600 garbage. He boo-boo. Cartoon gon' dog walk this dude. But again, when I see the pull-ups and hear for myself that cuz is doing his working out and all this, and it kind of even things out. Like, this gonna be a good fight. But when the money come in, man, I got to go where the money at.
And you think the money, and it seems like 600 is a Vegas betting guy, and you say the money line will be with 600.
Well, what I'm saying, I'm not even gonna go that far. I'm gonna stop at niggas is cash apping me wanting to bet on cartoon. So I can't cheer for the guy who I'm at to pay out the money. You know what I'm saying? In that sense, cartoon's the favorite.
You know why? One of the defining little intricacies that caused me to just say I would lean toward cartoon. We were doing a photo shoot. And during the photo shoot, 600, and it could be deceptive. I could be wrong. But he stands so flat-footed. He has a confidence. It's extremely confident, but his elder of almost 20 years is bouncing on every step. And he don't drink, he don't smoke, he's throwing combinations at the air, and at the same, he's bouncing on this. I didn't see. I was glad to see after that some footage of 600 actually running sprints online.
See,
because I see some bounce.
Yeah.
I see some cardio. Other than that, 600, you know what you're showing everybody: chili cheese fries and cigars.
Right.
So it's a difference. And cartoon, he is a person that only consumes water, and he had that bounce and he had that energy. One is like an overt confidence, and the other one was an introverted confidence. And it could be deceptive. I'm not saying that it's going to be an easy win, but I just felt like at that point, if I had to bet, I would bet on cartoon. So I think December the 14th is the still tentative date. And as soon as I get that locked in within the next week, I'm going to tap into you because we're going to have an actual promotional program. We're going to have to sell some pay-per-views, man. I think you can help us make it worth it, bro.
Shout out to Cartoon, too, man.
Shout out to Cartoon and 600, man. Y'all who are not aware, we will be having a battle with the Giants, Godzilla versus King Kong, December 14th on pay-per-view. Details to be announced very, very soon on my mama. Y'all had like a very publicized public funeral recently. Rest in peace to the young Mad Ronnie. I forget who else lost their life. That evening, I believe y'all lost two homies.
One. I know of.
Okay, my bad.
Two got shot.
Two got shot. All right. I know a lot of my homies. Saw my homie Joker from the Deuce attended the funeral. Yeah, it's obvious what Mad Ronnie meant to the culture in general. Any things you want to say to him just in his memorial or in all just based on the fact he's one of the most recent lost ones that was publicized?
I'll say this much. I couldn't make it for financial reasons. I love the homie Mad Ronnie. That was a good homie. Mad Ronnie, what separates him from a lot of the G's, Mad Ronnie messed with every single generation. He was in the trenches with every young homie that came up. So shout out to Mad Ronnie, rest in peace. I want to say this, the homie Big Rick was accompanied by a dude on Original Jungle. I got a picture I'll show you too.
Yeah,
we're not going to put it online because I don't have our big homie's blessings.
That's
but
right.
He come to the funeral red down, one of the Original Jungles. And so that's a testament to the reputation Mad Ronnie had.
You think people can get away with that now because it's 2023? Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
go ahead. I don't want to shit on him, salute to him, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, but these dudes are older now.
But still,
too,
yeah.
Back
It's just
then-
like some of my Damu homies, they like talk to me and they be like, blood, and they try to apologize. I don't even get offended. I'm like, it's cool. Like Munchie B, I talk to him a whole lot and he tries to be very careful when he play blood. I do the same thing. And since we on the subject, like I saw Munchie B on your platform recently. What inspired that, knowing his reputation for being such an
anti-60, yeah.
Yeah, and then reputable. And so Ron spoke on him very highly when he was here. And then I saw you extend that love to him. Is that just the honor of at the top, we know what it is and the culture that we want to see our whole thing do it better? Or do you have a personal relationship with him? Or what is it?
Me and Munchie, we exchanged text messages. You know what I'm saying? He shot me his number. We text each other, but we ain't got no friendship. I ain't never met Munchie. I mean, no friendship outside of the texting. I never met Munchie, but here go the thing. Munchie is sat with Lil AD, my homie. He sat with Ron, the homie. So when I thought about getting Ron on, what's the next good guest I could have? Ron and Munchie like synonymous with their names right now as far as the internet goes. So he's the first one that came to mind, and I know he's within reach. So I just hit Munchie.
I respect it. Well, Munchie's become one of my comrades, not only because we are like, I would say, not co-workers, but we're somewhat working under the same umbrella as counterparts under the Street TV umbrella.
Right.
And we become we become fluent with text messages and communicating. And I kind of like assumed initially that the communication was all based upon us landing here together. But then I realized that he had an appreciation for me as an artist that extended beyond that. And he also has like connections and ties to people that are very close to me that I had no idea. So I just feel refreshed because I know Cuz got certain rumors and stories on his name that what we consider kind of trying to smut him out. And there's a good length he can go to clear this shit up. Whether it's true or not, for his side as a defense attorney at the moment, he has some information he can be offering regularly that would kind of throw a whole lot of clarification on the situation that he's trying to clear, but it would put someone else in a bad light. I just want to give him his flowers for being humble enough and standing on his principles enough to even know he could throw another nigga name in the mix and not put him in the twist. He don't do that, because that's a hard one to try to take down without. He has a platform where he goes live, where he goes public on his podcast every day, and he's not spending his energy trying to spin that narrative. So somebody like Ron, somebody like KevMac, Baby Spider from 97th Street, being able to show some support to the opposite narrative maybe being true, I just feel like I appreciate that. And I'm glad you was mature enough to speak on him positively and invite him on your platform.
Yeah, well, he got at me over the phone, and he brought the incident up. You know, it was in the back of my mind.
I know,
right?
everybody we talked, he knows that.
But he brought it up.
That's how I respect it.
And he told me a little bit about the get down, and I didn't ask no questions. I didn't go into detail. I didn't want to hear no more. So I left it at that. You know what I'm saying? He had enough heart and was man enough to even bring it up. So I give him that. Outside of that, Munchie, look, I got several reputable homies that got at me and they liked the interview. So that was surprising to me. But that's when I know I'm doing my job right.
That's the climate we in, though. And I think that you and Alex should be able to benefit on the fact that the city is there, because there are people from opposite sides that have learned to have a love and appreciate for somebody just based on the light that you guys have shined them on them. And you might not never know that.
Right.
You'll never think that somebody watched the video one day and heard a nigga say some shit that they could relate to, and it was only because you guys gave them a platform. And as this whole culture is being captured, documented, presented, monetized, I have interest in making sure those that are the pioneers have a spot in this shit. I salute to what Adam doing. I salute to what others doing. But I believe those that are really the pioneers from our actual shit need they flowers too.
Right.
On my mama. I want to ask you this.
Wait, let me
go ahead.
stay on Munchie real quick.
All right, go ahead.
The homie Caesar's like a big brother to me. Inglewood family, one of the co-founders, right? 77, off 76, but 77.
Lil Bear Inglewood family, shout out to my loved one. Go ahead.
So Lil Caesar tried to hook me up with Munchie years ago. But I wasn't fucking with Munchie because of what you said. He was still anti-homie. So, and the same thing happened with Lil Sody, rest in peace, from A-Track Gangster.
Lil Sody.
He tried to holler at me on
good
Twitter.
timing.
And I told him, the timing is bad on me. Timing is too bad. I can't fuck with you.
Did y'all ever get to it?
Nah, and I regret it now. I regret it, but I got to talk to Munchie, you know what I'm saying? And so that was one of the Lil Caesar's wishes that me and Munchie hooked up, and it's done now.
I like to be able to do things for people outside of what they can do, and kind of like, it wasn't your interest, but you was able to make one of your loved ones satisfied, so you feel like you did something.
Well, it's not that it wasn't my interest, because it was.
Okay.
But while you dissing the hood, it's not the time to be talking.
Right.
You know,
right. Explain to the non-affiliates, the outsiders, how we know how that's. How do we get? Explain to them how we are able to get beyond that. Because when you look at CMAC, you think we can't get beyond a tattoo on your forehead. And a lot of people may be looking at the position he take on certain issues and thinking there's the majority of us involved that took that same position on some section. How do you explain, or how do we get the people to understand how you can be stumped down through and through and still be able to process that type of relationship, that type of understanding with an ex-member? Do you look at it like, me personally, I look at it like this, and I may be killing your opportunity to answer the question, but I view it like this. I've shared this with Alex. because Reggie Wright, he pisses me off with this. He's a person I'm cool with though, but he pissed me off with this because Reggie, you have to justify your relationship with Reggie by saying, damn, he the police, used to be the police, right? Okay. But when I met Reggie, he was up on the shook, whole bunch of gangster shit. He was ex-police, he was security, wasn't no police. I just used to hear about the police shit, and I see him in his element. Then years after that, I saw Reggie in the streets doing thug shit, gangster shit, right before he went to the feds and all that. So now you see Reggie on the internet with a presence. He's a person you really know, you fuck with, and you try to justify, okay, he's okay, he has whatever. But then you'll see Reggie on here cheering for a nigga to go to jail. And it's like, damn, how do you balance your respect for Reggie and your desire to see a nigga to go to jail? I just had a brain fart, man. I was trying
That's all right. Well, this isn't
help me out.
This isn't an occupation, so I don't have a boss to answer to, right? So I don't need justification for who I talk to and who I interview or who's my friends. There is none. There's no explanation to nobody for that. You know what I'm saying? My homies that know me gonna know it's genuine, and they're not gonna question why I fuck with whoever I fuck with.
I just took so much game from that. I'm gonna take that and put that in my motherfucking repertoire as a reaction and understanding of an answer to similar questions, because sometimes I struggle with balancing some things that I don't agree with and still having an audience with that individual. And this is where I first learned how to do it. Going out in public, conducting business, and the person on the opposite side of the cash register is a male, but they're not attracted to women. And learning how to just act like I don't notice it and be cordial, it's taught me how to deal with a lot of people that I don't necessarily agree with on an issue of principle, because every interaction is not about the principles that you might be seeing being violated.
Correct, especially when you're into the media. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, I struggle with being called a journalist, but a lot of my homeboys understand I'm into the journalism world. So it ain't all about that, you know, this nigga from that side and this side, you know, he got into it with the homie, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? If we do that, if Baby Spider, KevMac, Alonzo, if we start doing that, we're not going to be able to interview nobody.
Thank you. And that's what I learned about my plight in the industry, period. I realized the line I've been pushing from day one caused me to be on the outside of a lot of conversations I perhaps would have been on the inside of, because I was operating under what you just said, and it's going to alienate people. And I watched the blueprint that this nigga put down, because he understands integrity, principles, morals like we do. And then he went through this industry as everybody's friend. Sometimes I feel like he had a prophetic experience.
He did. He
had to, because right before he passed, he was cool with everybody. Guess what he said? I ain't nothing like you, bro. He made sure come on, man. We know how calculated he was. And how does your debut album titled, you don't run until the whole race is over, is when you run how do you prepare for months to years, your debut album, the title, if you don't have some type of inclination spiritually? I don't know if it was right here on his front conscious. It might have been his subconscious. It could have been something that he knew directly, but there was some type of connection with his plight and what he was preparing to do. The marathon, that means it's a long race, but then I'm preparing the victory lap, and it's my debut. Give me your thoughts on that.
Nah, I just think he's very prophetic. He's a smart individual. He used to do a lot of listening to audiobooks. And he soaked up the game, not just from authors, but from homies in the hood. You know, he find his favorite homie. Maybe one hustled. Maybe one was a leader. Maybe one got, you know, politic. He knew how to maneuver and take a little bit from everybody, and that became him.
That's true. And I appreciated him for that. I remember at a time shortly before he passed, I used to think he was speaking to me in riddles or bullshit, shooting me to the left, just trying to give me an answer to a question and then I started realizing this nigga really talks like a fucking poetry book. His thoughts come out like that.
Nah, he was good at what he did, man.
You mentioned one of your homies recently, Shawnee Mac, Big Shawnee Mac.
Yeah.
I believe that him and 600 got a close alliance. Is that the same S-Mac that I'm Familiar with?
That's the same one.
Okay, shout out to the homies, Nightbud. Oh, my mama. Tell me this. From being a regular nigga growing up, West Side Rollin, what caused you to be interested in taking a camera and wanting to point it? I told Alex that people like you, such as yourselves, remind me of the movie The City of God. You know that underlying story of that movie. You know, familiar with the movie City of God?
Nah.
Oh, you gotta watch it, cuz. It's a gangster movie, but it's like in a third world country, like in the Caribbean. Brazil. And it's really thuggery. And when you first watch it, you know, the streets, we only loved it. It's such a cold movie. It's not even in English. You got to watch the subtitles. But it's so G, nigga, you going to read them and you going to figure it out. But because of that, it takes us, all we see is the gangster scenes. But if you watch it 4 or 5 times, you realize the whole fucking movie is about a nigga that's got his hands on the camera and love to capture shit. And I told Alex, you guys are the types to me, the City of God. What made you want to just capture this shit?
Man, I would go home sometime at night and think about my day, and damn, we ain't got no video of that shit. But in 1988, bro, this when I first started filming. 1988, I remember it was my birthday, and Pops was hustling. Pops was getting a little paper. Mom's working. She kind of struggling. And yeah, I'm 20 years old at the time, but they pieced up and bought me a video camera, VHS video camera. And that's when it started. I started filming, man, but I always knew you can't film when it's time to get down to the nitty gritty, you know what I'm saying? And back then, a lot of people wasn't gonna get in front of your camera.
True.
But over the years, it just developed to KevMac straight, you know what I'm saying? I done caught some serious cases and been locked up a lot, so people understood, well, this ain't no police type shit, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then when I wanted to do the history, I hit up a few homies, hey, I need you to say something on camera. They with it. So, but it was just to capture my day. So when you go home, you can look back on your day.
So basically the whole way our whole society in general got more interested in capturing reality. That was just a natural part of you because cameras were more, and this is just your environment, so that's what you were interested in capturing.
Yeah, I'm glad you put it that way. So let me go back even further because I started with me. Now, as a kid, probably, man, I might have been like 5 years old. My grandmother's husband, back then they had these reel-to-reels, these big old projectors and shit. He would film the family. So starting off as a kid, I wanted to do what Grandpa was doing, you know what I'm saying? Because he had all the family people on there. And I used to be mad because I wasn't his grandchild. I'm my my grandmother's grandchild.
You lighter than everybody else?
Nah, we got light people in the family. But their family, which are the Bentleys, they would be on all the films. My family, we Max, I wasn't on the films. Damn. So I'd be like, damn, I want to be on there too, you know what I'm saying? So as I got older, I got the opportunity to film myself and my homeboys and my family.
All right, I don't want to strike any wounds, but are your parents you still have your parents?
No, both mine gone.
Oh, God bless them. Did they ever get to see?
Remember, cuz I told you when I was in prison, my mom died. And ops was sending condolence cards.
You did. I apologize. Because the only reason I asked at this moment was because I want to know, did they ever get to see how much you got out of that first gift they gave them?
No.
The camera. They didn't?
No.
You know what I believe? And I like to believe that they still might know. Because I believe that they don't know because of the Bible taught me once you're dead, you don't know nothing. Outside of that, I don't know what happens when you die. So maybe they do know. You feel me? I want to give you that thought. Maybe when you go to sleep tonight, they might be like, damn, baby, we got that camera. Look at it. You feel me? I like to believe that might be a possibility.
Yeah. And if you look at it that way, we talking, what, 12 plus 23, 35 years later. So yeah, that was a blessing.
That's a blessing. Definitely. Do you have any aspirations going outside of just raw reality to like maybe productions, acting, not you acting, but capturing things that from our environment, like Men's Society, Boys in the Hood, Color, South Central? Any time for a new one?
Yeah. No, I'm tired of all this shit, man. People be wanting to involve me and stuff, but what I learned, Spider Loc, you probably been knowing this because you was in the industry. A lot of people full of shit. They sell you dreams.
97.97%. That's what I learned.
So, that's where I'm at with it now. I done basically gave up hope. But where I want to end my little, or at least my way in the door, I wrote a book, 2015. I want to put that on the screen. And so a couple of people I was working with try to get it to be a TV program. And I hate to use the word we failed, but we didn't get nowhere. The furthest we got was with CNN. And CNN
That's
got this.
pretty far.
Yeah, CNN got this dude, something Bell, Kamal Bell or something like that.
I'm not familiar with their lineup, production.
Well, they got this one black dude, and he does all the ghetto shit, urban stuff.
He hated on your shit?
Nah, they just stuck
Shout out
with
to him then, bruh.
Yeah.
Oh, they stuck with him.
Kamal Bell.
Kamal Bell, man, you know.
Yeah, they stuck with him, so they didn't give us a shot.
Let me tell you something. From my perspective, we just said, if you have sparked any type of interest in CNN, that's such a high level of success that trickling down, there are so many probably comfortable levels of interest. I'm glad you mentioned that, and it kind of died out, because I think if we revisited it, there's no telling what we can accomplish.
Yeah, they said if I change up some of the program, I forget what you call it. It's like a deck.
Okay.
Change that up a little bit. We had Ice-T working with us. Shout out to Ice-T.
Shout out to Ice-T on that.
Ice gave me his production team, his manager, all that, man. So,
and it still bumped into a roadblock.
Yeah.
Well, we ain't going to let it stop at Ice-T, because we're going to revisit it, man, because I got some things in the works along that line that might be able to benefit what you're trying to do. And it's only another strike at it. We never know. Because it's a lot of motherfucking memes I see where you'll see somebody digging in a tunnel, and you'll see them get tired, like, I'm through.
That's me.
You feel me? But the shows, like, if they would have just kept going on, it was, so we ain't gonna let that go to waste, man. I appreciate you coming through, KevMac. This is one of the episodes that probably can go on for 2-3 more hours, but I have reached my time limit, and I would like for you to let everybody that's watching us, listening to us, know where they can keep up with you. And I want you to promise them on spot, so it won't be you promising me that you're coming back again. We need you back.
Yeah, I'll come back for sure. You can find me at KevMac Videos. That channel, that's the main channel. We do a lot of covering the history of individual gangs. And then I have a spinoff channel, KM Video Live Streams. That's where I do all the live stuff, and I tell little gang stories in between.
Appreciate that, man. And I'm SBI, the Most Easty. You already know where to find me. On IG, Spider Loc Most Easty, the number 7. On YouTube, it's youtube.com/Spider Loc Most Easty. It's Factz Ova Feelinz, the podcast. We up out of here.
The life we living now is all about the money. So what you gonna do when you ain't got no money? Them foreign cars and all them bitches, they gon' leave.